Hello, my name is Ari Kim, and I'm applying for the RA position for George Page.
Hi, I'm Grace Kruse, and I'm applying for an RA position in freshman dorms.
Hi, I'm Jessica Dimaano, and I'm also applying for an RA in freshman dorms.
Hi, I'm Rachel Packebush, and I'm applying to be an SLA in the freshman dorms.
Hi, I'm Paul Cox, and I'm applying to be an SLA.
All right, next step. Scenario.
You are sitting in your lobby late in the evening with your study group studying for a midterm that is tomorrow. While you're studying, you hear a resident, Katie or Kevin, and their roommate come into the hall, stumbling up the stairs and laughing. When you go into the suite to check it out, you only see the roommate who assures you, "Don't worry, Kevin's fine." You are concerned that alcohol might be involved. Katie or Kevin is your favorite resident. You have had several amazing conversations with this resident during your rounds, and you feel like Katie or Kevin is opening up to you and starting to trust you. Lately, though, you've been hearing from Katie or Kevin that things have started to get rough at home, and you have heard that his or her parents are in the middle of getting a divorce. You're not exactly sure how to process with her or him, but you're doing all that you can. The last thing she or he needs right now is to get in trouble, and you don't want to ruin your relationship with her or him because you know he's just going through a rough time right now. Plus, you're not even sure she's had any alcohol. As you're deciding how to handle this situation, the following events occur. While you are in the suite talking to Katie's or Kevin's roommate, you get a text that one of your residents is locked out of their room and is sitting in their suite in a towel. Get a text from two of your residents who want to meet with you about conflict they have been having and you know that they want to switch roommates. And get a text from your study group asking when you will be back. What do you do?
Okay, let's start discussing.
So we have Katie. We're gonna go
call it
Katie.
Katie. Yeah.
We'll start with Katie.
I think that's fair.
You refer to the resident as Kevin. So Katie is having some problems. So we have Katie with a problem. We have the roommate locked out of the room and the study group.
I think
And the roommates wanting to switch, the residents wanting to switch roommates.
maybe we should prioritize what comes first
Yeah,
and
let's-
how to handle the situation.
So study group right now, I would say is
Text
I
least
think that's the
important,
least important.
Yeah.
but also quick.
Yeah, so text them.
But I
saying-
say put that at the bottom for now.
I would text them saying,
Yeah.
like, I have some things I need to take care of.
Yeah,
I probably won't be back for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, because I think that's very true.
so that's like quick to text. So first do that. Second, I would probably like help the person who's like in the towel because it's
Yeah,
like,
it's generally
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really quick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I would text the two residents after dealing with
Mhm.
the girl locked out of the room.
And set up a time and day
Say.
of where to meet and like how.
All of them
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
then I think we need to talk about how we're going to discuss on how to handle the situation.
okay, so how long has this taken so far? Like texting the study group, letting the resident back in, and then texting the roommates. That takes a total of like
Probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
A minute to text or something.
Also, do you think that's like too late to get? Do you think that's going to take too long before getting back to Katie?
I mean, the question is what are you trying to figure out with Katie and Kevin?
Yeah,
Are you trying to be
exactly.
like, are you trying to say like, do they have alcohol in the room right now? And like, are they, you know, if I go away, are they going to like just get rid of it? Is that something that you're concerned about? Or is it more like you just want to have a talk with them to make sure they're okay? Because that's something that could wait a little while if you're just wanting to talk. Yeah. And so it doesn't sound like
I think if it was clear that they were drunk, then that would be an issue to address at
sooner.
sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But it says like we're not even sure if she's had any
Right.
or has any. So I
yeah.
think address the things that we were talking about.
Yeah, so that's good order.
Mhm.
And then go and talk to Katie.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even, like, texting, like, the residents on, like, when to, like, meet for their conflict, you could do that while you're walking to the room to visit Katie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And another thing to keep in mind, though, is that we do have, like, this isn't like a one-person kind of operation. Like,
Yeah.
in a dorm, there could be, like, Rachel and Jess or Grace or any, like, you know, a combination of people that are working together and operating. So it's not like one of us has to be the one to do
everything.
all of these things.
That's very true.
And the idea is that we should, and at this time of night, late in the evening, the idea is that everyone would be in the house, and so you should we should consider like saying, hey, like there are 2 RAs, and an SLA. It's possible to say, have the SLA do one of the things.
Yeah.
I think it's
let the room
important though that we need to solve this situation.
So now let's get into Katie.
Maybe like as we've said, like go knock on their door and see like what's up. Like,
right, because that would be a fairly normal occurrence. Like talking to Katie, because it says like your favorite resident.
Yeah.
We have 1 minute and 30 seconds to finish discussing.
My thing with Katie, so like since Katie's like your favorite resident, or what I've learned this semester is like you can take your co with you to talk about it, so there's like no bias, and it's more like an unbiased, like let's objectively look at this situation,
and like don't pressure her, like then she might feel like, oh my gosh, they're trying to like come on me.
So I think like you need to go talk to Katie, and like you need I think there needs to be like a little bit more information. You just have to evaluate the situation. If it's obvious that they've had alcohol in their system, you need to write it up. And then, but like it's also going to be hard to like objectively say like, are you drunk? Are you whatever? So like I think that's
why it's good to have.
So evaluate the situation regardless of whether it's your
and I
favorite
think
resident or not.
A lot of that is like from what I've learned, like you like have to be firm, but you can be like kind but firm, and like let them know, like
take them aside, like don't publicly.
But like let them know you're still there for them, that you're still willing to talk, so that you don't push them away, especially because they're going through such a difficult situation, and now's the time that they kind of need a friend.
So I think our conclusion is like have a talk with Katie and like understand like, hey, like if alcohol is in your system, we do have to be firm, no matter like the situation, how bad the situation is.
Okay. So who is going through the?
So.
Are you going to present?
Yeah, I'll present. You guys just like, let me know if I'm missing something.
Well, pitch it.
All right, here you go.
All right. So what we kind of decided and are thinking about doing is you have to kind of level things out in order of how they have to be handled. And it's not just about you taking care of, like one person taking care of everything. It's possible to bring in your SLA or your co-RA into the situation so they can help you out. And so what we would do is we would begin by just texting the people in our study group and saying, hey, like, there's a lot of stuff that just came up right now, and I need to take care of it and to prioritize the job that you have, because it's something that's not going to, it may take a little while, but it's important, and it's like our responsibility to be there to assist. And so first there's the, you address your study group, then you go out and you help the person who is not able to get back into their room, and then try and arrange a moment where with people who are having this kind of conflict with the roommates, you can either say, ask and say, if you need to have this handled right now, like bring in one of your, like either your co-RA or your SLA, because the idea is that everyone, like in the evening, people should be in the house, and there's always variables that you can't predict and understand for, and say like, but the idea is that you try and say, hey, like let's like find a different time for this. Let's like say, let's not 10% in the evening when we can have cool heads, and say let's go out for coffee or something, and then so take care of like just try and like present if you're not able to handle it in the moment with the roommates or having like roommate difficulties, then take a step back and say, hey, let's work on this at a more opportune time, and then you go and you talk to Katie or Kevin, and you speak to them about what, and you go and you try and you just open it up as a conversation, because the idea is not that, like, if you don't know that alcohol is involved, you shouldn't just assume that it feels very unfair to assume that it is, but more than anything, like, you have a relationship with this person, and it should be and the idea is that we want to be able to be involved in our resident's life, and if something seems up or something, like, we want to make sure to check on them and make sure that they know that they're supported, because even if alcohol is mildly involved, and we can't tell, we still want to make sure that they know that we're there to talk if we feel like something is up. And so we go in and try and discuss it without making it a huge, without attacking or looking for something to find out, but prioritizing first, is there are they okay, in terms of
safety?
Yeah, safety.
Yeah.
Are they
safety comes first?
have they been drinking too much? If they have, then take care of that and make sure that they're set in that way. Make sure that so yeah. I mean, I guess.
Also, like if there has been alcohol involved, I think depending on how much they've already had, like talking to them in the morning is a good idea, and like talking to them and explaining the situation when they were sober is.
Yeah, I think also like being able to make sure like if there is alcohol involved, you have to be really direct towards it, because if you kind of like talk around the lines, they might misinterpret it, and like you also have to make sure like you and your co are on the same page if you guys are both going there. Like yes, it's very private information, but like your co and you have to like make sure you guys have the same information, but also approach it in the same way so the person's not confused. I think it's really important.
So have we solved all the problems?
Yeah, so in conclusion, we are going to text our study group saying we're not going to come back until like after we situated the situation. We're going to help the resident who's in the towel while like you could text the person with the conflict, whether it's urgent or not. If it's not, then you could always set up a time and day later. And then you go talk to Katie about the situation. Yes. So I think this is our presentation.
Yeah. So again, just to kind of like restate our names, and we're London Group 14, and so I'm Paul.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Jess.
I'm Grace.
And I'm Ari.
And
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.